Here's some great news. I've never heard of you either.
That's all I'm trying to say.
How'd you get funny? Did something bad happen?
Nothing really bad happened.
Are your parents together?
No.
But they got divorced because of you. By the way, the closest I've ever felt that I am in a simulation is walking into your house and seeing this set.
What part of it is simulated?
I was like, my simulator is just pranking me at this point.
Yeah, what are some of your biggest conspiracies? I want to see if I can get on board with one.
Let's get demonetized. Let's go.
So you can kind of color mommy in two ways.
I can't have any more moms, man.
Do you have a lot?
I was raised by lesbians.
And you can't communicate? That is dark. Do you normally have a game plan when you do these, or you just go for it?
What's up, guys, and welcome to episode 200.
Hold on, no offense, but can I turn my headphones down?
Oh, it's not going to be like that the whole time, man.
Okay, no
Turn them down a little
offense.
bit.
I mean, yeah, that was
Offense fully taken.
good. I'm the one that had to say it. 222 episodes, and you're still screaming into a microphone.
Brother, do you know how much I had to work myself up to that? I've been feeling dead inside all day, and I was like, I gotta.
After being in your house for 5 minutes, you strike me as the reason we have an Adderall shortage.
Yeah.
So I don't think I'd buy that for a second.
The problem is about me is
The problem,
the
I don't
singular
even know
one.
you. I have a lot of thoughts on your home and
Do you want to? Let's start there. What are the biggest thoughts about
the location? Is my first issue with your
Hated.
home. I am 30 minutes late because you're not allowed to live here where like porn goes down, like non-union porn, where like porn actors live, not porn stars, porn actors. You know how hard it is to not be a
the
star?
ones still auditioning?
Porn actors. And then you have a Cybertruck in your driveway. You don't.
Someone just left it here.
And
I
you
don't
have
know.
19 employees. Like, why not just move to a place people can get to?
Well, because then once you're kind of in the midst of the city, people look for fair wages and stuff, and they'll notice. They'll be like, you paying these 19 people? I'm paying them all one salary. And they're loving it because they're from the
Undocumented
valley.
workers are skipping and hopscotching across the border. You can get them anywhere at this point.
También?
Yeah.
Okay, let's jump into this episode. Hit some intro music.
Also, I'm so sorry. Of all the people that work for you, none of them unpack your packages or open your...
Okay, so there is an assistant who works here, and I don't want to throw her under the
No,
bus.
I've been texting with somebody who's not even on the premises to get here.
We don't know who that is.
The person that I'm texting with to get here isn't here.
No.
So you have a remote person...
For like location
And
management.
We outsource anything digital. So that's a Puerto
Digital?
Rican. Yeah,
Texting?
Yeah.
So I texted with someone who's not even here. So how many employees do you have?
184. Again, one salary. Just one salary.
Okay.
And that's outsourcing.
Are you drowning in logistics? This person that I was texting with, who was that?
That was a talent booker. Can you believe that you're brought here because you're that talented? Isn't that pretty cool?
Yeah, no, sure. I'm just curious why I mean, Joe Rogan books his podcast from his phone.
You know what I mean?
Are you just like back to back?
Yeah.
Slam.
Slam.
Absolutely
Slam.
slam.
I had a
Couldn't
UN
be
meeting
more
before
slam.
this.
Between reading these Blue True ads and these BetterHelp.
I mean, that's what I do.
Ads,
You know what I mean?
okay.
It's just BetterHelp Blue Chew, BetterHelp Blue Chew, and we're rocking. Again, this is based on her. We are taking away half of your pay because of the boxes thing, but you get 25 cents per box opened. Pretty cool.
If I open them really fast, can I?
Yeah. No, that's totally fine.
What do you do?
That's a great question, Whitney.
It
What
strikes
does
me
she
as
do?
an operation where no one's clear on their job.
We actually just had a meeting about that today.
We had to tighten some things up. There's some loose screws.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, we were the maintenance people on those screws. Yeah, no, I actually really want to hear this. What's the title?
So what I tell people is that I started out as their assistant, and I kind of
Is that computer even plugged in? Like, is there anything on the other side of
It's
it?
one of the kids' ones, and it's got like gummy bears stuck to it.
It tells me like letters and all that. I started out as their assistant, and I still am, but I think I grew into more of like an overall maybe production
Parent?
role.
Okay.
A parent, yeah, you could say.
Wrangler?
But yeah, that's what I tell people, which I think is correct,
Wrong.
right?
Completely. No. Yeah. You were under the dog, unfortunately. But the dog's new, and we got to protect our children. Hit that intro music before
There's a job.
production value right there, huh?
High, very high.
Like that?
This is great.
God, I'm so glad we're existing together on a linear plane. This is going to be a good day. And by good day, I want to start off by being truthful. I had to do a little research.
Do you? That always bumps me when someone's like, "Can I be honest?
Yeah.
What were we doing before?"
That was a complete lie. It was a facade.
I'm gonna start with the truth.
Okay.
Is that hard on anyone? I mean, you know, you made it in Hollywood. When you have to specify when you're telling the truth.
I mean, listen, I'm a people of the town. Okay, so I did
Here's
a lot.
some great news. I've never heard of you either.
That's all I'm trying to say.
Okay,
We're meeting in the coffee shop right now. Let's discuss what we do for a living.
I am
you know
literally
what I mean?
only here because Bobby Lee like bullied me into it, and I'm afraid he's going to kill himself. So I don't know you. I know people love this podcast. It would honestly be weird if I listened to it. Don't you agree?
I've met Bobby, quite a few times. I'm surprised he knows what this podcast is.
He doesn't.
Okay, that makes sense.
None of us do. We're all just like trying to be relevant, driving out. Like I don't even know. Like none of us know.
How mad were you on the way here when you saw the
Dude,
time?
I was furious. I was actually really excited to do this because I like to see what you guys are doing. You know what I mean? Like you guys are obviously very successful. I listened to, some episodes. You guys are very funny. You're very quick. I'm in, stand-up comedy. I tour. I make, television and stuff. Because like, what is that? And I like seeing what you guys are doing and getting to know you and then figure out why you're successful. I haven't figured it out yet. So let's see.
1 second.
So when something breaks, that's when we figure out who does what around here. So now I know he's like, oh, he's tech.
Sure.
This guy's tech.
Okay, that's the man in STEM.
Exactly. Well.
So I don't know. Why did you ask me to do this if you didn't know who I was?
No, that's not where I was actually getting to. I wanted to apologize because I didn't know who you were, and then you kind of were like, I don't know who you were, to kind of equal it out. And then now I'm underwater a little bit, so I'm trying to swim up.
We're flirting. We're just flirting. It's fine.
This is men and women in a room together. This is a social experiment
called
of white
chemistry.
people. Oh,
yeah.
So I saw that you did a phenomenal job of creating a TV show, Two Broke Girls, and to honor that, I wanted to watch an entire season to make sure I knew. Yeah.
You watched an entire season? Okay.
I messed up the name and I watched all of Broad City. And can I tell you? Fantastic.
It's a great show. It's a great show.
If you were a part of it, it would have still been good. So I'm proud of you. But how long have you been in the death zone that is Los Angeles? Are you from here?
No, I'm from like DC, Virginia area. I've been here almost
where the
like
people
20
are pure.
DC?
No, that.
Do you know about the government?
No.
Yeah. And you guys are from where? I did try to look you guys up.
Ohio.
Originally. I think I knew that. You as well?
The Mecca. Born in Las Vegas, Mom Minnetonka Harmony. We moved to South Georgia when I was 9 years old. They had a KKK rally in the town right when we got there. It's kind of the thick lore. But yeah.
Nice.
At what point did you move from law-abiding states to the hellhole that is this?
Oh, yeah. California is a nightmare. I agree. I moved here right after college. I went to school in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and I knew that I wanted
UPenn, I assume.
Yes, sir.
Oh, my gosh.
I knew I wanted to be.
See, that's how she knows. That's how we know she's smarter than us.
Really?
You can ask her anything.
Ask me anything.
Are you okay?
Do you normally have a game plan when you do these, or you just go for it?
We have a thick rubric, actually. We have a 1, 2, 3.
Rubric? Is that like a Dobrik, but R-rated?
Brother.
Do you know what else I'm curious about? I'm fascinated with you guys because like you guys are growing up in public, and that's something that I did a little bit later, but I wasn't like having conversations on camera like a maniac. I mean, if I had done this when I was your age, I mean, I would be literally waiting for Diddy in a jail cell. But it's like, do you guys like look at the YouTubers and stuff that came before you and are like, don't do that, maybe don't do that? Like, I mean, when are you guys getting canceled? Like any minute, right?
Well, so when you do...
Honestly, by the way, Cybertruck out front. We know
Don't
what
act like you didn't just rip it off with the
what he
biggest strength
spends
I've ever
his
seen in
money
my
on.
entire life.
I mean, I just...
And a Cybertruck was a
Fine.
tax write-off.
Don't try to fix it. Don't pretend like you're going to fix this. Can we not pretend like there's a man in this home who knows how to do anything? I mean, honestly, I'm this close to asking your breeder dog to fix it.
She's a good girl.
Yeah, I bet.
Jared, do you want
An inbred bulldog could probably be more helpful to me at this point.
I should probably fix that.
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, it's... You guys are like the Ellen of podcasting. Remember, like she would have someone waiting in a table to like scare the guest.
God,
like every episode, the guest has to deal with getting tetanus
I thought you were
from this
speaking about
microphone.
the background stuff that was going on. I was like,
that looked like the Epstein Island
I was like,
stuff.
oh, yeah. Didn't know about that part.
Oh, Ellen's background of her talk show? The set of it? I mean, you can just look at pictures online. They juxtapose Epstein Island, that like temple that was blue and white.
Was that
right?
your timeshare place or no?
It was the island right next to it, but it had a great view
Of
every.
what? The children? Bro,
of the temple.
God, I hope they're well educated. Go ahead, continue. We were speaking about
that people were just like pointing out the similarities in the set of Ellen, like her talk show set had those blue and white stripes. You're not in the conspiracy hole, huh? You still think that like everything is what it is? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, what are some of your biggest conspiracies? I want to see if I can get on board with one because I've never been able to attach to one. Like
let's get demonetized. Let's go. Let's get kicked out of the algorithm. But I'm curious because I feel like aren't you guys like on some like postmodern existential crisis? Like you think we're just like in a simulation or something?
Oh, I don't know if I believe in that.
You don't know if you believe in it?
Well, listen, I'm doing my own research.
Listen, I'm literally wearing headphones. So you don't believe we're in a simulation?
I don't believe that.
By the way, the closest I've ever felt that I am in a simulation is walking into your house and seeing this set.
What part of it is simulated?
I was like, my simulator is just pranking me at this point.
Yeah.
This is a wild fever dream.
This is the punked of ones and zeros. Welcome to the game, and it sucks in here.
So you don't believe we're in a simulation, but
no, I believe in the fact that like history is not everything that they tell us it is. Of
course not.
Right? And so
who's they? The non-binary historian?
Exactly. The non-binary. So I've gone down a rabbit hole specifically with like Egyptians and like that
don't
whole
think they're
thing.
real?
No. The Egyptians, very real. I don't think they were as prolific on their own, you don't think
Egyptians are capable of doing anything in a modern society?
I think they had some extraterrestrial help.
With the pyramids?
Okay. With the pyramids. And there's a lot of convincing arguments that the pyramids are actually just giant batteries. And I fully believe in that.
Yeah.
Don't say yeah.
The water underneath.
Somebody teach me something before there's aqueducts? And now we think they're batteries?
Well, the pyramids are built under like aquifers or on top of aquifers. And then the sloshing and the movement of the earth generates like vibrations.
I feel like sloshing wasn't the word they used, but
it's definitely not the word.
No dirty talking during historical time, and you know that.
But it's just like the materials that it's made out of. It's made out of like rose quartz, which is like a superconductor, and then there's like copper wiring found in it, and then they're claimed to be tombs, but they don't match.
What did you just quote?
The tombs.
No, where did you get this information? Because I don't see you for hours, and I've always thought masturbating, but it turns out you're...
He's on alexjones.org.
Yeah.
And so they...
Don't say yeah. Where'd you get this information?
Here's what I get it from... I'm with it.
I get it from the internet, from the people that are telling the truth on there.
Oh my gosh.
On Reddit.
So
on Reddit, all those like dark web, deep space, kind of websites.
Deep space.
You haven't heard of deep space?
I know about the deep web or the dark net.
Whitney, you're so far behind.
Deep space is, I'm on some space is fake shit. So what's deep space to you?
Space is fake shit?
No, I'm not.
We do have a friend who thinks that is it a body of water is above us? Is that the main theory, that we're in a dome, body of water? You
have a friend that thinks this?
Yeah, acquaintance if I'm in the right group, but a friend if I'm near him. Like I'll tell him, be like, yeah.
He thinks that we're in like a snow globe?
Yeah, I think isn't that the main thesis of Flat Earth?
Yeah, there's like an ice wall around all of us, and then there's
Just
actually it's a dome above us, and then I believe it's like water, something up there. It's not space. Space is like a projection, like the moon and the planets and the stars. None of that's real.
But so this is what I don't get about conspiracy theories. If what's the point? Like why is hiding it the best for the human race?
You mean like the truth?
Yes.
Kind of thing. I think it's a case by case thing. I think the conspiracy theories recently have gotten so popular is because so many wild things. The JFK one, obviously. I think
himself?
That is a hot conspiracy theory. That's a pretty good one.
Best cover up I've ever seen. With his wife. Oh, there's just brains, dude. I was hooked. I saw the video.
And so, because when you learn something like that, like the government or the deep state or the CIA, whatever, it could be so nefarious, you start questioning everything. And I do think it's also like whatever high functioning autism thing to kind of, guilty of to try to put some puzzle together of some alternative truth, because I think you're right. It's like when I was in high school, I learned that the Native Americans and the Pilgrims had a fun dinner.
Exactly.
And they had corn, they had maize, and it was in a cornucopia, and they had a lovely time, and the pilgrims wore their shoes with the buckles and their and you're like, look back and you're like,
No, you nailed it. That's
was,
exactly
it
how it
was
happened.
literally just P. Diddy's basement with a bunch of feathers. Like, we got this totally wrong. So now it's like, let's kind of question everything. And, you know, I think when you start getting to simulation and space is fake and Earth is flat, it's just like, maybe you have too much money. It just
my theory on it might be that I think back in the day, we tried to, we tried to put bigger ideas on things we don't understand. That's how I assume some religions were started, and then you didn't have enough people to fact check, so it kind of just blew up into now this.
How do you fact check anything? I mean, I
Yeah.
don't think we've ever known what's true. It's like, you know, history's written by their winners, whatever. But it's like, once you start just realizing, like, humans, like, if you tell me a story right now, I'm going to go tell it to someone else, and it's going to be like 20% what you said. Just the way that we relay things is so flawed, you know?
Or even your opinion on that person or how you want to be presented to the next person you tell it to, like that you're going to skew it enough to make yourself look better, or yourself look worse, or for their certain situation that might be better or worse. Yeah,
Everything's like subjective too. It's like, you know, when like you're talking to someone and they're like, and then you came in and yelled at me, and I'm like, I was literally, it might have felt like I yelled at you.
Yeah,
but
it
like
really did feel like
you know what I mean?
Because the boxes, like I just didn't.
No, I did yell at you.
We got
when
a lot
I
of
came in.
boxes.
No, I was yelling. That was definitely yelling.
Going to the doctor has always been a chore in my life. I wish it was as easy as swiping on Tinder or using Yelp, where there's a lot of options and then you can peer review whether they're good or not. Is there such a service?
Oh my God, Zach, you haven't heard of ZocDoc?
Yes, I have. I was joking. I love ZocDoc. It's made me so healthy because I could use doctors that actually care.
Okay, man, calm down. For those of you who don't know, ZocDoc is a free app and website where you can search and compare high-quality in-network doctors, choose the right one for your needs, and click instantly to book an appointment.
We're talking about in-network appointments with more than 100,000 healthcare providers across every specialty. From mental health to dental health, eye care to skin care, and much more.
Plus, ZocDoc appointments happen fast, typically within just 24 to 72 hours of booking. You can even score same-day appointments.
Something that I hate and I've done numerous times in my life is go to the doctor and then when I get there realize they don't take my insurance. So it's nice just to go on ZocDoc and you can only get doctors that do take your insurance.
Zach, you'll be happy to know that I have gone on ZocDoc and found an ENT that can hopefully fix my nose. I just have to actually book the appointment.
So stop putting off those doctor's appointments and go to ZocDoc.com/dropouts to find and instantly book a top-rated doctor today. That's ZocDoc.com/dropouts, ZocDoc.com/dropouts.
Thank you, ZocDoc.
The days might be getting shorter, but the action on DraftKings Casino is here to stay. Play hundreds of games of endless excitement. Try your hand at classic table games or set the slots on fire with your fan favorites like Cash Eruption.
New players can play just $5 and get 50 instantly in casino credits. Download the DraftKings Casino app and sign up with our code Dropouts.
Then press play on your favorite games to join the fun. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem?
Yes!
Call 1-800-GAMBLER or in West Virginia, visit www.1800gambler.net. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. 21 plus, physically present in Connecticut, Michigan, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, West Virginia only, void in Ontario. Eligibility and other restrictions apply. One offer per new casino customer. Casino credits are non-withdrawable and expire in 168 hours. Terms at casino.draftkings.com/get50. Ends October 6, 2024. Thank you, DraftKings.
But I just mean, like, you know, when someone's like feelings become facts and they go like, and then you left me at the restaurant, you abandoned me, and you're like, okay, you're an adult. Adults can't be abandoned. You know what I mean? We exaggerate, we minimize, we like leave out things that aren't as interesting. And it's like, it's fascinating because when you think back at like history, dude, like there's like AI and like Photoshop, you know, you can't trust a photo anymore. You can't trust a screen grab. You can't trust a video. Like pretty soon you cannot trust a video. Like I saw the Justin Timberlake mugshot and then he like took a bite of a hamburger and I was like, why is he eating in his mugshot? And you were like, oh shit, dude, it looked like so fucking on point. I was a little high, but it was definitely, so I mean, whatever. 100 years ago, news was just gossip, right? Like there was like 130, 40 years ago, right? You would just like see someone in a field and just be like, hey, do you like, sir, like, do you know anything?
What's going on?
Like, do you know anything? Like, have you heard anything about like
anything?
Red berries, good or bad? Like, you're just like, should we, I don't know.
The red berries are real good. The blue ones are gross. And
Do you know
don't want
anything
our kids
about
to
why
grow up in
my
God's America.
children's fingers are coming off one night? You know what I mean? And then they're like, I think we're at war. The North is fighting the South. You're like, which one are we? Like, where are we? Like, no one knew anything, right? And then we started knowing shit and then realized, okay, as soon as we started putting things down, it was like rich people or the newspaper, you know, whatever. And then the internet happened. And all of a sudden there was like a couple years where we were like, I feel like the truth is possible.
Yeah.
And then AI comes in and the ability to Photoshop and fake stuff and like, you know, ChatGPT. So it's like,
I mean, even with, because right now, if you go to Facebook and you see anyone over 50 and 60, they think that they're making Titanic 2 every week because someone's creating a, you know, AI version. They're like, can't wait to see it. I can't believe they got the boat back up and running. And we're like,
They pulled it up from
by
the
the way,
ocean.
Titanic, great conspiracy theory.
please
What's
run
the
me through it.
conspiracy
It
there?
wasn't the Titanic boat. It was actually something called the Olympian, maybe. I don't know if you Google stuff on your Fisher Price computer over there. But that it was really, was it the Federal Reserve? There were a bunch of people on the boat, like
I've
super
heard
rich,
of that.
JP Morgan, and then they needed to kill a bunch of people. So it was intentionally sunk. I don't know how, but I think sometimes rich people die by accident too. But
No chance.
it's been happening a lot recently, like very conveniently.
You're correct. They think it was
Rich
switched.
people die by accident?
No,
Oh, okay.
they think the boats were switched, so it was really the Olympic.
The Olympic, yeah, it was a different one. I mean, the conspiracy was named a different thing. Sometimes people will come in with a super hot conspiracy, and they're just like, Lady Gaga's name is Stephanie. And you're like, cool. I don't know.
Hot button issue right there. Yeah.
Denver Airport's a good one.
Love that with
Denver-
Lucifer and everything and
That's
all
a
the
good one.
murals. It
You
is
guys
really
gotta
creepy.
stop just saying buzzwords about conspiracies and not loop me in because I'm so down with Titanic 2. I gotta hear about this.
Have you ever been to the Denver Airport?
Yes.
The Denver Airport. I mean, look, the conspiracy theory, I actually think that if, you know, whether it's the Illuminati or the government was going to have some kind of bunker underneath an airport, they wouldn't make all this stuff so obvious in the Denver Airport, you know? Because there was a place called, there is a place called the Greenbrier in West Virginia where during the Cold War, the plan was if a, you know, nuclear war hits, which we're back there a little bit,
Oh, yeah.
right? That they all go to the underground bunkers in the Greenbrier. Nobody knew it existed until I want to say 1992. I did microdose mushrooms a lot during the pandemic, and I got really into a lot of this stuff. If you're curious why I know all of this, but the Denver Airport is they have like a horse with these like blue eyes. They've got like pictures of devils everywhere, and then I think it's when
Sorry, I still don't understand what is all the symbolizing underneath. It's underneath.
sorry, the idea is that there's bunkers underneath for where the government would go.
Yeah,
or-
so that's where like all the super important high level people, wealthy people would go and create kind of like an underground society. And the thing with like all the murals is that they're very apocalyptic, you know? And so it almost kind of looks like the end of the world. And it kind of looks like they were like immortalizing that or like predicting it with these paintings, but hiding it in plain sight. And it's
But I
just-
think
it's
what
just
they would
weird.
do is they would go, okay, this is the place you would look to. Therefore, the bunker is actually in Tampa. You know what I mean?
yeah,
But
yeah.
what is fishy about it is they asked while they were building it, the government for like $2 billion, and the government gave it to him, no questions asked. It was in the building of it that was so weird. Also, the guy that made the horse, the artist, the horse fell on him and killed him.
Yes.
My uncle has a taxidermied ferret. Does that mean he's got
Red
at least
flag.
like a septic tank?
That's a problem.
Under his house?
Here's what I will say. The only thing worse than having a taxidermized ferret is having an alive one. This is the only
Stinky boys.
This is the only situation where I think having a dead one is actually better.
Yeah.
Are you speaking from experience?
There are ferret people out there.
Yeah. I think they're
Don't act
adorable.
like you haven't been around them. The way that you know this knowledge. Who, what, where was this ferret in your life?
Look, I was on Farmers Only for a little bit, okay? And I've seen a lot of things. Ferrets will eat a baby's face.
Whoa.
Full off.
Is there a motive or just yummy?
Jealous.
Oh, they're jealous creatures. Interesting.
Well, this is the big thing that I don't enjoy about the cat dog debate is apparently when you pass away, a cat will immediately start eating your flesh and consuming you like in minutes, hours. I don't know how long it is.
Probably, yeah.
And a dog will wait 2 weeks till they have absolutely nothing left. and then they'll start chomping away at your bones. And they love bones. It's their whole thing. You've seen them in cartoons for years. Those cats start chomping, and it's just something that gets me going.
How'd you get funny?
I think it was the moving.
Did something bad happen?
Nothing really bad
Are
happened.
your parents together?
No. But I was 2. It didn't really matter.
But they got divorced because of you.
No, I think it was him inside another woman. But like, it's all speculation. It was either me or he kept on.
Because he wanted to make another baby with someone else because you were.
No,
not.
he actively, I don't think, wanted any more children. But daddy didn't like condoms. Daddy wanted to feel the sensation because daddy was already snipped and they already took away so much of the sensation that, he wanted to feel a little something.
Snipped as in circumcised or vasectomy? Does circumcision really take a lot of the sensation away?
That's what I've never been on the other angle of it.
Are you not circumcised?
No, I am circumcised, but I've never, I don't know the full sensation of a sleeved wiener, which I've heard is pretty fantastic from the women that I've been with. Like they say the guys' faces I've been with are a lot more. And I said, maybe they're just not dead inside. I don't know.
I'm sorry. Girls told you that the guys' faces when they have sex are different.
I've been told I look like a serial killer when I experience coitus.
You look like a serial killer all the time.
That's what I'm saying. So at least I'm consistent in the bedroom. Like I'm not getting there. Ooh, yeah, you ready for me to touch that clit? First of all,
God dropped a hard C there.
Whoa,
hard C.
Well,
I know. I was trying to dance around the Disney castles are made out of dicks conspiracy theory because I didn't want it to get us knocked out of the algo, but here we are. There. But so you're saying that women that you've been with have said that the faces of men when they have sex uncircumcised are different than the faces circumcised.
It feels like more of a thrill to
Also,
them.
who's opening their eyes during sex? What kind of psychos are you dating?
I have to see what's going on. It's been me the whole time. It's me with the guys. You've got to realize that. No. But are you cut, uncut?
I'm cut. But I've never been like, I'm missing something here. It's all felt pretty good.
Maybe if sex felt any better, I feel like society would be a disaster.
Oh, it would.
You guys would get nothing done.
I think I have been snipped a little too much because I think I fake my enjoyment in sex a little too much.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, now we're talking. Okay, so how so? Like it doesn't feel as good as it seems like it should, given other people's.
Yeah, I think the PR team did a great job on sex, but for me personally, like I'm not, I'd probably cut my subscription at least to the ad version.
Okay, this is fascinating. Do you watch a lot of porn?
No.
Do you think you got desensitized in some way, or has it always been like this?
It's kind of a little bit. I mean, I think when I was newly in the sexual experience, like 17, 18, it was all very like, can't wait to get it out of my body.
Right.
And then at some point, I think I just started thinking too much. Like during sex, I feel like now I don't want to. I feel like a woman in a sense of what they've spoken about, where it's like they try to stay in the moment. I'm very similar. Like I feel like a lot of guys are thinking, just don't finish. And the whole time I'm thinking,
God, it would be nice if I could.
Yeah, I hope I finish, or I wish I could stop thinking about like math.
Are you neurotic? Like, do you think? I don't mean this in a negative way.
Trust me. I don't.
Are you in your head a lot? How about that?
2,000,000%.
That's the worst is when you're like, I really hope I come, but I'm not gonna, and then all of a sudden it's like trying to fall asleep and you're an insomniac.
Yeah.
As soon as you try to fall asleep, it's like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You like psych yourself out.
No, I'd say 95% of the time I'd rather just go to bed.
I love guys' fake statistics so much.
And I
love a fake statistic.
I mean, I've written it down.
You also thought about it, like he did the math. He was like, I'd say 95% of the time, like you actually calculated.
Well, if it was any more or any less, I'd be lying.
You'd rather just go to sleep. What about like if it was like an earlier session?
No.
Have you heard this before?
Yeah, I've heard this before. And the thing is like he sleeps all day. And so like he sleeps all day in the sense of like he'll have like a meeting at noon. So he'll
What kind of meeting?
Not AA.
What kind of meeting?
Oh, okay. Any meeting. It'll be like about this documentary thing they're about to do, or about my dog and why it shakes a little bit too much.
So they're things you don't need to wake up for, basically.
Yeah.
So he'll like wake up at 8, go work out for an hour and a half, come back, shower, go to bed until his meeting, wake up for that, and then go back to bed right after his meeting.
Did he sleep at night?
I have a really trouble sleeping at night, and this stems from I used to pee like 12 times in the night.
Okay.
And then I got kind of everything checked out. Turns out my muscles contract a little bit sooner than other people, 150 milliliters compared to 450 milliliters. So my body tells me to pee. So I would get up so many times that I would be such a light sleeper knowing I'd have to pee again. That I think I've just developed some type of insomnia where I'm in just a very consistent light sleep. So throughout the day, I am heavily fatigued, and I wish I could experience human joy.
Do you take anything?
Yeah, I've taken a few things for the pee situation, but it doesn't seem to help the tiredness. Like I've gotten to maybe 3 or 4 times in the night is kind of where we've gotten to, which I'm more thankful for.
You really do have the life of a woman. You pee every couple hours. It's hard for you to come. That's really intense.
Yeah.
And are you going to real doctors, or are you like on some like the YouTube doctor
I've
guy?
been real doctor.
You know
but
that
if
you
you've heard
guys
of a
all have
YouTube
your own
guy-
dentists and shit. Hannah Stocking's always like, here's my dentist. He'll come to your house and do your teeth if you tag him. I'm like, that's not a dentist. What?
I actually went
You go to a real doctor that like got a medical degree, or is
And
this like
doesn't have social media.
UCLA Health.
You're like Dr.
I
Dre
was
is
assigned
great.
him. Yeah.
Dr. Dre.
He keeps giving me these beats, and I'm just like,
Okay.
instead of a lollipop. But yeah, I go to UCLA Health. But I will say this about I did get, because I didn't know where to go to a dentist when I was here, and people in your circle, influencers, so they're like, go to this guy, you just got to tag.
I love putting quotes around influencers. It's such a burn, dude. Like influencers already a burn, but like influencers is like so rough.
So I go there, and he just looks at me, and he just goes, teeth too small for your face, gonna need veneers. I'm like, I came for a cleaning.
That is so funny.
Yeah. And
I think your teeth are my favorite part about you.
Wow.
You have great teeth.
you haven't seen my knees. and I mean that in a genuine way. I do have above average knees. Like anytime I see someone else's knobs, I'm like, okay. But whenever I see mine in a mirror, like I'll walk by a mirror with shorts on,
Oh, wow.
I'll get real revved up. Not in a sexual way, but like a self-appreciation.
I have hideous knees. I don't know why. I'm
But
showing
yet
them off.
self-confidence.
I
obviously.
really don't. I have this thing called Ausgeschlatters, which is when like this bone comes out of your knee when you have a growth spurt.
I think my friend's grandpa died in that camp. I just didn't think we'd bring it up now.
So you have some kind of like something. But like, what are we going to do about your sleep?
You went to school for psychology?
Yes.
I'm just loving this.
Yeah.
Okay, but I feel like you've probably done enough podcasts where maybe
That was a
on
lie.
me-
I did not. That was not true. I would not be here
took an attempt.
if I had a
took an
degree in anything.
I think it's 40% of women do it. You got to roll the dice on that. You know what I mean? It's the same thing as blackjack. But you won. The house won.
And you go to a therapist about this? Because it feels mental a little bit, no?
Yeah, I've been to therapists. I've been to psychiatrists. Definitely have deep depression. So that's part of it. That's
You know
part
what
of
it
the
probably
fatigue.
is? This fucking jukebox that just keeps yelling colors at you. What are you doing? And then do you sleep with your puppy? We sleep-
No. They advise the crate training. She screams at me. I want to go get her and hold her forever. Not supposed to.
Yeah.
But no, we get up in the night a couple times now because pooping in a crate is apparently something that's not good.
And your puppy actually pees less in the night than you do?
Yes,
Actually,
it's fantastic.
Do you have girlfriends that can sleep with you in the bed, or can you not sleep with someone?
Anytime I sleep next to someone, I'm very finicky where, I have to be in the perfect position. I'm prima donna.
Are you an
just
only
Madonna.
child?
Half. So my mom's single mother, and then my father's side, he threw some down a couple canals, and now we have some synergy and like half our DNA, but we're pretty close.
Why canal? Like, do
I wanted
you
to
know
be,
what I'm saying? It's not, why not like,
I'm just basing that off of how he treated the women. That was more
but a canal
him.
implies this giant
Gaping.
gaping, unhygienic.
No, they were clean
Ran
ladies.
through.
Yeah. My dad was a F-15 fighter pilot.
Cool.
He moved through some units in his day. And I'm sure there was some canals, but I shouldn't have betrayed women's vaginal regions in such a way.
It's just, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's my bad.
Oven. It's like oven.
I haven't-
Well, like bun in the oven.
Gotcha.
You know, things like that.
Yeah.
There is nothing better than going on your local Hinge and bringing a sweet, sweet woman home. And she's like, oh, Papa, I wish you could put some calories in me, Papa. Oh, Papa, I wish you could cook. I wish you could season things, Papa. But you don't know how to cook. You don't know how to distribute recipes.
Thank you, HelloFresh, for saving the day.
Also, we all know that home-cooked meals are so much better for you.
But you don't always have time to pull it off. But with HelloFresh handling all the meal planning, shopping, and most of the prep, it's easier than ever to get dinner on the table quick and painlessly.
There's always new flavors to explore with an ever-changing menu of 50 recipes to choose from every week. Just pick your favorite meals, your delivery date. Phew, that simple.
And you can choose from a variety of menu options to suit all of your needs and tastes, from fit and wholesome to quick and easy, or vegetarian to family friendly. There's something for everyone to enjoy.
I love that.
You can easily customize your meals with protein or veggie swaps. And don't forget to check out HelloFresh Market for more delicious add-on items to jazz up your weekly deliveries.
Jared, I want free breakfast for life.
Was that I want free breakfast for life?
I don't know how to get it.
Okay, well, right now you can go to HelloFresh.com/free dropouts for free breakfast for life.
You're excited for breakfast too.
One free breakfast item per box while your subscription is active. And again, that is free breakfast for life just by going to HelloFresh.com/free dropouts. HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit.
It makes me so mad how many of you are wasting your money. You have multiple subscriptions. You're using subscriptions you don't even use anymore. And the worst part is, yeah, my dog just barked because he's so mad. The worst part is you don't even know. With Rocket Money, you can get that sweet, sweet money back. Tell them how, Jared.
The reason Rocket Money can get you that money back is because Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. I know that when I first signed up, I had like $500 in subscriptions that I didn't know I was paying for.
Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of 500 million in canceled subscriptions. That's insane. Saving members up to $740 when they use all the app's features. Get that cash back in your pocket.
Rocket Money will even try to negotiate and lower your bills, sometimes by up to 20%. They automatically scan your bills to find opportunities to save. Then you can ask them to negotiate for you, and they'll deal with all of the customer service.
You better stop wasting your money on things you don't use and cancel your unwanted subscriptions by going to rocketmoney.com/dropouts. That is rocketmoney.com/dropouts, rocketmoney.com/dropouts.
Thank you, Rocket Money. This episode is brought to you by BetterHelp.
BetterHelp is the best place if you want to start your therapy journey. And remember, it's not just if you're in a deep depression hole. It's like getting oil in your car. You need it for maintenance. You go to the gym for your body. This is a gym for your mind. And therapy can be scary. So why not just open up your laptop and talk to somebody who's qualified to get your brain in the right way? You know what I mean?
Like Zach said, therapy can just be maintenance for your mind. You don't always need some big traumatic event for you to start. And right now, if you are thinking about starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online and it's designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. All you have to do to get started is just fill out a brief questionnaire and you'll be matched with a licensed therapist. And then if for whatever reason that therapist doesn't work out, you can switch therapists at any point for no additional cost.
Rediscover your curiosity with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/dropouts today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/dropouts.
Thank you, BetterHelp.
How do you prefer to be referred to?
I like crevice.
How do you feel about slit? Are you...
I don't have strong feelings. I guess it would have to be the context.
Yeah, let me gallop towards that gash or something.
How
I know
do
you like horses.
What?
Canyon.
I don't like canyon.
I thought you were going to say I don't like horses. Like the tattoo
don't-
is a choice then.
I don't like axe wound. I don't like strange.
Oh, yeah.
Like, what do you say if you're in the act?
Like a serious thing outside of the jokes?
In the act.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm not like referring to it like, guess who's about to go find the bottom hole.
You're not very verbal during
I actually
sex.
am.
Really?
Yeah.
God, I couldn't picture that.
I couldn't picture you. You said you snarl during sex.
I didn't
Snarl?
No,
Yes,
I'm
you did
listening.
say
I'm
that was
listening.
a
I'm listening.
joke. I said that
You
one time
tripled
as a
down on it.
joke.
By the way, do it. Growling, snarling's hot.
Okay, well,
but he hasn't made because he's dating a sex coach. Like actually, actually, I don't know if that's made or not. Does she ever correct you?
yeah, I mean, she gives me pointers, tips, and tricks. And
Hold on, let's just
how-tos.
time out. What?
I
mean, a life coach is worse, but what is a sex coach?
Hold on.
well, yes.
Wait, when's your special coming out? Or no, when are you going on tour? Sorry,
I'm going on tour. I'm on tour right now. Thanks for
I thought it was
asking.
September 27th.
Oh gosh, I do go on tour then. I'm in Pennsylvania and then New York at the Beacon. Thanks for asking.
Okay, I wanted to do it more at the beginning, but I forgot.
Aw,
but I know that's a
thanks.
big thing.
Thank you. I am on tour.
Okay, we're gonna have everything in the description so you can find all
Me
the
and
dates
my
too.
canal are gonna peddle our wares all over this great country of ours.
Back to
And
sex
trust me,
coach.
I am
Sorry.
only here because I need to get some jokes for this tour. So please continue on the sex coach.
Feel free to use the
Oh,
slip.
please.
There you go.
I'd be so honored if we made it into this the special. No, I recently started dating a woman who is a sex and relationship coach.
How'd you meet?
Through a mutual friend.
I need to know who the friend is for this.
Her name's Tara.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, sex and what qualifies her to be a sex and relationship coach? She studied it.
Like yes and no. Like she didn't go to like a university to do it, but
But she
like
gets brand deals for dildos. Like she's
she's been taking like courses on it for like years and stuff. So right now, like she's got her like coach certification, but because she didn't get like a degree in it, she can't say like sex and relationship therapist or something like that. You know.
But coach implies just kind of cheering on and emotionally supporting. Like, how does this work?
So she takes meetings with clients, and it's not usually about like, oh, I can't get hard in bed or whatever. You know,
what is like a normal example of someone who would call?
A lot of it has to do kind of with like their sexuality in general, you know, like finding out late in life that maybe they're not what they always thought they were, or they grew up in like a repressive household, that sort of thing. Or if they're going through kind of
And then she says what?
And then she like gives them advice on how to handle that. And she gives
Why
them.
do I feel like this is via Zoom?
It is via Zoom.
She needed money during the pandemic, and she goes, "I've had sex. Let's go ahead and do this." So you're gay now? Cool. They're like, it's just good to get out.
All
Like,
of us
cool,
were a
that's
little gay in the
$45.
pandemic. And okay, so what have you learned from her?
Honestly, a lot of what I've learned is just like communication. That was like one thing that I really struggled with in a lot of my
You talk
past.
for a living, but okay.
But like emotional communicating, you know, like actually communicating my feelings. 'Cause
Specifically in the bedroom or outside?
outside of the well, both.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
know, but like this podcast is kind of like a wall. You know, it's like we just come here to be funny and tell jokes and kind of like rag on each other. But like the actual intimate connection with your partner is something that I struggled with for a while.
What can you give an example of maybe a spot of growth that you've had where, you know, like a specific thing, like, hey, I tried this and it's actually developed into this that was positive?
Good question.
Currently we're long distance. She lives in New York. But she's like moving here in January. So it's been like kind of a struggle. And I've been in long distance relationships in the past where I've not communicated if like it's getting hard or whatever, you know, like the distance and stuff.
Your dick. Oh,
Now, she's like really sat me down and like helped me talk through my feelings when there was like a little rough patch, you know? And so it's like that sort of stuff and like created just,
So you can kind of call her mommy in two ways,
oh my
which is
God.
wonderful. She's maternal, dude.
I can't have any more moms, man.
Oh, yeah.
do you have a lot?
I was raised by lesbians.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Gay ones.
And you can't communicate? That is dark. Okay, so, and then you were a donor? Were you a donor?
I was a donor.
Oh, whoa.
So the only name I know my father by is CB270.
You think you want to find him or no?
No, because that's just like, I'm not
He's
really.
an extra in one of the new Star Wars things. You can't stop making them. They had to employ him at some point.
I just like, I didn't grow up without a dad. My mom.
Say again?
I didn't grow up I didn't grow up with a dad. And so like finding him, like that's not a piece of my puzzle that I feel like I'm missing.
What do you feel like you are missing?
You grew up with lesbians and now you're with someone who like makes you communicate. Don't you have any interest in the masculine world at all?
I love football and I love cars.
Okay.
Hey, dude. He's like, my hinge is sick.
You're also
Football,
sitting in front of a
cars.
gumball machine. So I'm just really trying to, because I think with the communication thing, if I may just cut you off and communicate, that's what I'm doing here. I do think like I'm finally in a relationship with somebody that I have like a tremendous amount of respect for. I'm you know, whether it's, I've been in a lot of relationships that didn't work, whatever. And I'm of the mind that most people are not a match. You know, if something's not working out, it's not your fault. It's not my fault. We're just like not a match. You're perfect for someone else. We just have to find that person. I don't need to change you. You don't need to change me. I might not even need to change myself. I have done a lot of I've been in a 12-step program for 12 years called Al-Anon, ACA, codependence recovery, which helps you be able to communicate, be honest, tell the truth.
Can I ask where that that dependency started from?
Yes, I grew up in an alcoholic home. So when you grew up around alcoholics, or chaotic, in order for alcoholism to be present, alcohol doesn't have to be present. So it can be any kind of chaos, and then you develop these maladaptive behaviors where you're a perfectionist, you're trying to fix people, you're trying to cheer people up. You become a parentified child. You basically have to kind of raise yourself, which is what I did. You have an overdeveloped sense of responsibility. You try to solve other people's problems. You conflate love and pity. You get in relationships to try to rescue people. You can't get out. You can't have, you're very non-confrontational. You think you basically derive your self-esteem and your self-worth through your ability to be useful to others, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so it took me a long time to, get all that right with myself. But I'm now in a relationship where it's like, my guy, he's amazing. He's a professional athlete. Like, he's amazing at communicating. But even when he's not perfectly communicating in a way that I can understand, I'm able to go like, you know what? Hot take. Sometimes gender's real. I might not be understanding what he's saying, but he believes he's being clear. Mm-hmm. I'm not getting it because of whatever, my Asperger's, my high functioning autism. I'm stupid. I'm a woman. I don't know. Or I'm just like so, emotional at the moment that my brain is just like not able to hear what he's saying. And then when I'm like, the worst thing you can do is go like, can you please be clear? I'm not, and then they shut down,
Yeah.
So for me, sometimes in a moment where I feel like the best thing to do is communicate, I am now able to go like, you know what? I love you so much. I don't want to trick you and trap you into being like, you need to communicate right now, so that anything he says, I can go like, it's what I used to do. You try to weaponize it and go like, well, what's that supposed to mean? And why did you say it that way? You know what I mean?
Yeah, when really they're just trying to find words.
I'm trying to find words. Why are you stuttering? Oh, you're trying to come up with, you know what I mean? Like you can find a way. I just want to say, like, communication, I do think is important, but I think sometimes communicating before you're ready to communicate can absolutely make things worse. So I'm in a program that basically the point of it is to not make a bad situation worse.
Wait, communicate when you're not ready to communicate. What does that mean?
If you're emotional, or angry, I don't think communication is the solution all the time. It's for me because I believe if it's hysterical, it's historical. Sometimes feelings aren't facts, and then I'm in a place where, can you just apologize to me?
Yeah, I'm really sorry for.
You're going to say it that way? You're going to say, you're sorry?
Well, I was just coming because I didn't want to approach.
I know, you just rolled your eyes.
No, I didn't.
Why are you
my contact was just a little messed up.
That's just not true. Why? You know what I mean? So then it turns into we're arguing about how we're arguing and how you're saying things, and I'm not available to hear anything you're saying.
Yeah, you're almost Inception, like the movie Inception, but arguing. You're
and by the way,
into
totally.
Yeah.
And by the way, don't apologize before you're sorry.
Yeah.
Like, I need to believe, of course you're going to say sorry right now. Of course you're going to say I love you. Like, I don't buy any of it, and now it's losing its value. Like, I'm not receptive to the communication anyway.
Yeah.
So it's like, I obviously communication is super important.
What made it clear in your head that wasn't correct? Like what? Yeah, I'm very interested in that therapy or whatever system brought you to, like the new thinking of even being able to conceptualize that.
The question is like, when did I know?
Yeah, if that's how you used to be, when did it click for you where you believe someone else of that's not how it's supposed to be? And then you can almost communicate that that's not how it's supposed to be.
I think I realized that I was doing things wrong when I was living in a 6-bedroom house alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, there's a point where you have to say like the common denominator is me.
Yeah.
And I think that, what I do for a living is very, confrontational. It's all about how quick you are. It's all about making sure someone doesn't have power over you. I thought in a relationship, you had to like defend yourself and protect yourself. And sometimes you have to defend and protect the other person from you.
Yeah.
And I'm now with someone that I love so much. I don't want to show him how smart I am. I don't want to show him how strong I am. I don't want to like make him feel bad. I don't want him like, because I think there was a long time where I was like, oh, I need to give this person a consequence.
Yeah.
And that's how he's going to see that this is how I'm not supposed to be treated. And I need to make him respect me. You don't make someone respect you. You earn their respect.
Yeah.
And the more you try to like gain respect, usually like, less respect you deserve.
From being in an alcohol-induced family and you feel like you have to kind of be the parent and you are the one respected and have that respect, and then maybe going into a career where a woman isn't as respected in that space, does that like manifest into like something bigger and bigger, do you think?
Ooh, that's an interesting question. For me, when I started, I don't think I had a lot of self-respect. So by the time I went into comedy, I was like, we agree.
Yeah.
I'm the worst.
Yeah.
Like I'm useless. I'm not funny. We're the same. So I think, and I also didn't really think about comedy as being male or female. Like I kind of didn't really think about it like that. It's also, stand-up comedy is such a feminine behavior. It's just like dominated by men because it happens late at night.
Yeah. Because we're just up.
But it is totally.
nocturnal.
But it's like stand-up comedy is going on stage being like, listen to me, I need to be heard.
Yeah.
And then you're like complaining and talking about your emotional problems in your relationships. Like
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
our thing.
That's probably why it's guys. It's just guys' version of therapy. Like we're too scared to go do therapy. So it's like, we'll go in front of a crowd and talk about how my
You're
husband touched me.
Yeah, go to the MMA fight or like make
Yeah.
jokes about it.
Yeah.
Totally.
We like to talk about MMA, talk about our feelings, but it has to be in front of a lot of people.
Totally. But I think that sometimes like I was just really like, we need to communicate. And then it was like, but if we're not a match, none of this is going to fix that, you know?
Yeah, I guess how do you determine when it's not a match or it's just you being in your own head, creating those narratives that you're not a match?
If you meet your match young, that's awesome. Like, I
Yeah.
think that's so cool. I knew I was not going to meet and I don't mean matches in my like match, like my person until a little bit later, because I knew I had so much work to do on myself. And I'm like, anyone that's attracted to this mess is not my guy. Like,
They've got some work
that's
to
a
do.
great, that's
Yeah.
a red flag. Like if anyone's attracted to me, that's a red flag.
It's almost like weaponized self-awareness on yourself a little bit.
But
Yeah.
I used it. I just went like, you know what? I'm going to focus on my career and I'm going to
Yeah.
work my ass off and I'm going to just spend all my time instead of like chasing guys and trying to make a relationship work, making myself the person that the kind of guy I want would actually be into.
Yeah.
You know, because it's like very easy to get someone if you cause chaos because adrenaline is, you know, turns into dopamine. Addictive relationships,
Yeah.
like chaotic, dramatic relationships, they're very addictive. It's like doing drugs.
Yeah.
You can really easily get someone addicted to you. That's not love. That's not a, you know,
It's nicotine withdrawal.
100%.
Yeah.
So
My
I can,
psychology teacher in high school told us to take our dates on, like to go skydiving or something because it gets our adrenaline pumping and the same thing.
where did you go to high school that they were telling you how to date? What kind of
We were just
sick-
learning about the brain.
You would just hang out in the teacher's lounge and just kind of look in there.
in high school? They were talking to you about where to take dates
To be fair, it was
with
senior
what
year.
money? With what money?
Exactly.
Who can afford skydiving? Imagine as a senior.
I'd beg my mom for $10 so I can just like eat half a chicken finger with a woman that like looked at me once. Like pretty good chemistry we have, huh?
Wait, hold on. What did this person say that should not be a teacher?
Pretty much exactly what you were saying. Like we were learning about adrenaline, dopamine, like all the chemicals our brain releases. And he was talking about how you can get that associated feeling of love from adrenaline and stuff. And so he was like, take them on like a really exciting or dangerous date. And so he was like, go skydiving, go like
Shoot up a
ride a
mall.
bull or something, you know. To be fair, this man was insane. I mean, like he'd come in with like
I
3
am
quarter pounders
calling
with cheese.
the authorities on this person. Anyone encouraging you to do those things not on a date is bad. Dude, our high school teachers I was like, yeah, we'll talk
He
about
was
that another
crazy.
time. Yeah, crazy is a tough word. It's very vague. This person is like sadistic. Okay, I don't know about that.
I like how we're like talking like this, and he goes, "You should ride a bull with her," and we're like, "What's up?"
Yeah, that's the quickest way to break her hymen. I mean, that's what we're doing.
Feels like we're on the back of the bus, like talking about a serious thing. And there's a kid in the front who's sitting real close to the bus driver who just wants to be their friend. He goes, "You should ride a bull with the girl."
A guy, like a high school teacher, just fantasizing about a high school girl riding a bull. Bye, dude. Not a fan.
Oh no.
But I do think that it's just basically like, yeah, it's about, I don't think it's about the other person. I think the more that I, go through life, somewhat as self-aware and emotionally sober as I, am capable of being, it's not so much about the other person. I think it's about who you are with the other person. Are you the best version of yourself with that person? And the guy that I'm with, this is the first time I feel like I'm the best version of myself.
Why do you think that?
I choose my battles, even if there's something that I could like get him on.
Yeah.
I don't want to get him on it.
Yeah, because he's probably not even thinking like something bad even happened. He's just probably like,
I am so like enamored by his nature, and I know that his nature is so inherently good. And I think that before I knew things weren't right, so I was always trying to find something wrong with the person and find the threat of why it shouldn't happen. I was always looking for the proof that we weren't right for each other instead of all the reasons we were right for each other.
no, I've definitely done that in the past of checking way too many boxes of, like what if is this the perfect girl because of this? But what if there's more out here that do this and this?
Yeah.
when it comes to the fundamentals, I mean, there's 7 billion people, so you're gonna have a lot more matches than not. But
A lot of those don't speak the same language as you, though.
yeah, which is better. God, it's so much better. Just leave me alone.
Here's the thing. When I was in my 20s, I didn't really date. I knew I was not ready and that I was going to waste someone's time. And it was like, I just focused on work. I was like, there is no way that I really hope I'm not the same person. You know, if I was with someone now, I really hope, you know, we would have to really evolve together, you know, because I plan on being a completely different person in 10 years.
Every person's different, but are there any smaller telltale signs where it's like, if you see this in someone, maybe there's better chance than with this type of person?
Podcast studio is the first room in their home. Okay. It's easily the
I say
biggest.
that when I bring them in, I say, and then they go, oh, okay. And then we're saying, all right, come upstairs. I'm not going to have sex with you, but let's go. We're going to watch a movie above 87 Rotten Tomatoes and just cry.
Things that are definitely a no. I think anyone that talks shit about their exes, I think it's just so easy to not do. And, you know, I just think it's tacky, even if the ex was a monster. Like, everyone has behaved badly in relationships. Sometimes relationships bring out the worst in people. I mean, some of the worst relationships I've had are like the ones where I was like, this person did this. Like, they're happily married now. Yeah. And that person adores them. And you're like, oh, we just weren't a match. Like, you're not a monster. Like, we just don't mix. It's fine.
I could be speaking completely off kilter here, but
that is what we do. That is our brand.
That's what I feel like we have similar brains in a way of like
rude, insulting,
in way of thinking and maybe, I don't know if being all over the place, but it feels like we think about a lot of things at once and we overthink some things possibly. Maybe it's just the job, but what have you kind of done to combat that in relationships? I don't know if that makes full sense.
I see what you mean, to like overthink something or
just overthink, or just like our brains are the type to be a little quicker and move kind of fast. So even in conversations, I'll know the ending of someone else's. Like, I won't be rude and cut them off, but sometimes I can get a little bored or some situations. I'm like, I know where this is going to go. I don't know if you've felt something similar just since your brain moves a little fast.
Can't tell if this is a compliment or an insult. I am on Prozac, which is a miracle. I'm not a pharma guy. Like, I've been put on so many things to try to like slow down my brain. And, you know, I self-medicated a lot during the pandemic. For anyone watching that saw my hair colors, I was definitely smoking a lot of weed during the pandemic. I had 9 different hair colors. You know, ultimately, I think it's not about, you know, taming your brain or changing your brain. I think it's about surrounding yourself with the people that you do want to hear talk. Yeah. And it took me a long time to not be like, you need to be more patient and you need to just listen to this person. It's like, why? There's so many interesting people out there. And I don't need to have as many friends as
Bobby Lee.
Who are, I mean, dude, Bobby Lee, part of the reason we're so close is because we do no small talk. We don't believe in it. All we do is cut each other out. We talk in like utterances. Like, we don't even neither of us get a word in edgewise to the point.
My favorite thing, I went on his podcast and he thought I was a different guy till 50 minutes in. And he goes, you're not the finance guy? I'm like,
who's that? Ian Finance?
No.
Caleb Hammer?
No, he just does finance YouTube videos. Steven or something. I look a little similar, but the whole time I think he was kind of gearing towards a little bit of finance stuff. And then at the end he goes, you have no clue what you're talking about. And I'm like, no, I just an idiot that has another podcast too.
Bobby's also 50. I mean, no one understands. Like, he's also, you're being ageist, first of all. This is elder abuse. Bobby, it was so funny. We were on this tour with Bert Kreischer. He did this big, like, you know, I don't know if you guys know Bert, like festival tour. Yeah. And we were like sitting by the fire and I was like a little bit stoned. And like, you know, I have a kid now, so I don't smoke weed at home, but just when I'm on the road, and we were all sitting around and everyone was talking about like their days in New York as a comic. And I looked over at Bobby and I was like, did you ever live in New York? And he a rage came over him, like apoplectic. And he looked at me and he just went, we don't do this. Like, he was so betrayed by the fact that I tried to have a real and I was like, you know what? I'm so sorry. Like, that was crazy. Like, we're the ADD OCD people that never finish a conversation or a sentence. And
I meant to say, did you ever find the Big Apple?
Yeah, no, I'm so sorry. And so, yeah, I mean, I think that if you know, that definition of an addiction, which I identify as someone with an addictive personality, just not substances, maybe sometimes the internal drug cabinet, which is, you know, adrenaline, dopamine, oxytocin, all those things. That's what, you know, chaos addicts, drama addicts. You know, I think it's epigenetic imprinting for me because in utero, my mom was in a very chaotic situation. As a result, I was born addicted to adrenaline, is subconsciously always seeking it the same way that a crack baby would be, you know, addicted to crack because they were taking it in utero, you know? So for me, I think it's about going like, what makes my life unmanageable and what do I continue doing despite negative consequences? That's the definition of an addiction. And not being able to listen to someone keep talking, like, I'm like, yeah, I just need to get different people around me.
Has your child changed anything in you? And
Yeah.
as far as like
Yes.
now of your journey of like, you know, figuring out by yourself?
Yeah. Totally.
What have been
Totally.
some of those biggest differences?
You know, I mean, a lot of things. I mean, once you have a kid, I feel like it's the first time I've ever been truly present. You know,
that's
I've always
beautiful,
been kind of in the past, in the future. What am I going to do here? What am I going to do that? Like, I've always kind of, and I don't think that's a bad thing, honestly. Like, I think right now we're majorly over pathologizing ourselves. Like, I think another part of the reason I love coming on podcasts like this, even though I'm sure these comments are going to be brutal, is that, you know, like I had, you know, Tana Mojo's a friend. I know she's been on the podcast a bunch. And by friend, I mean like, you know, she records our FaceTimes and posts them in her Instagram. And her co-host Brooke, who, you know, I know has gone through a lot of drama recently, came on my podcast and she was talking, and I got killed for this. She was talking about how she had borderline personality. She was like, I'm borderline personality disorder. And I'm not sure if someone diagnosed her with it. I don't know. I'm not here to judge. Like, I grew up around a lot of that. And she was like, I'm crazy. And I was like, what is this thing where this next generation like wants to be mentally ill?
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if that's what she's doing or not. I just mean in general.
I have noticed the influx of people saying they're autistic or is very high now.
Yeah, right.
Like, when I was younger, nobody ever, I mean, you'd be like, yeah, there's an autistic kid.
Yeah, you would say he's retarded.
but now it's,
That's what we said.
Yeah, but now it feels like, I don't know, everyone has some type of ailment to, like, this is why I act this way. Not saying that none of it's not true.
It's always after someone's been an asshole. They're like, so it's my Asperger's. You're like, no, you're a dick.
You're a dick.
You don't get to say that now, you know? But yeah.
I wonder if the labeling hinders the emotional, you know, intelligence of like progressing in that field in your brain at all.
It also might be the people that you're around, you know, like I tour all over the country, WhitneyCummings.com. And like, this is kind of just an LA thing. Everyone's like, I don't know what my gender is and I'm autistic and Asperger's. It's like, you don't have to do all this. Like, you know, but I think we're all looking for an identity or, you know, to fill the God-sized hole, whatever it is, or, you know, we're looking for an excuse for our behavior or why we don't have what we want. We all did it, you know?
Yeah. LA, if you don't experience it, it is God, can leave a hole in you. Like my grandpa recently passed away, but one thing that I loved about him, when you showed him a picture of something, he sat there and he looked at it and he looked at every little detail and he had it was nothing about, I'm about to bring up something about my life. It was nothing about, this is like, I want to know exactly the story that's going on because I care about you. And it's such a different feeling.
What
in
you're
LA.
describing is an attention span.
Yeah.
I'm serious.
And we're all just blown away by it because it's been missing for the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Have you read the book, The Anxious Generation?
I have it. I haven't read it.
Okay. It's pretty interesting just talking about if you got social media around puberty, how it completely changed your brain. And especially with like girls, how, I mean, the mass comparing and that's why they're all sad. It's very interesting.
I don't disagree. I will say we had eating disorders before social media.
Definitely.
We had plastic surgery before.
And now you can learn about it more. Like it's more like, oh, they're doing it's yeah.
I mean, there's and also puberty is happening earlier because of microplastics and, you know, stuff like that too. So, I mean, we like before social media, girls weren't invited to parties and had acne and hated themselves and, you know, whatever. But, you know, I think that everything that happens, like it has always existed. It just like looked different. I also think anxiety is a good thing to have right now. Like there's a very good chance in 2 months we're going to be in a full-on World War III. Like this whole thing where people are like, I have anxiety, and it's like, you don't have enough anxiety, bitch. With what is, I mean, Facebook put 2 robots in a room, and within 5 minutes they started their own language.
Yeah.
Anxiety is the feeling to have at this point.
Well, they were talking about like the Gen Z's, the transfer of, you know, you're living in this completely new digital life, everything's rapid, but the next generation, they're all going to have 100 different agents working for them at the same time.
Who?
Like the next generation, Gen Alpha.
Agents?
Like ChatGPT type AI robots.
Copy.
Like they're gonna have so many servants. Like it just happens. Like the people that are in it now. I mean, I even have so many things that just do things for me. But now with, you know, it sounds like futuristic, but we're gonna have robots. We're gonna have our cars gonna drive us. Our opinions are gonna be on a screen. We're gonna wake up and I mean, it's crazy that information is brought to us now. We're not seeking it out. I think that's kind of
Interesting. Yeah. It's funny because when people are like, oh my God, my news is like, my news feed is making me so stressed out. Like I saw someone get killed today. And
Do you ever go on Twitter?
I'm like,
I see a beheading once a day.
I know, but I'm like,
my
dude,
God.
that tells me everything I need to know about your algorithm and your searches. Dude, my news, dude, you know what I found out this morning hot off the presses? A coyote was hunting with a raccoon. Dude, there's an elephant and a shih tzu. They are best friends at a sanctuary. Like all my news is all just like animal videos and stuff. So it's like when other people tell me what's the horrific stuff they see, I'm like, that's on you. You need to unfollow some people, dude.
No, yeah, definitely. Well, this has been very interesting. I know you have to go somewhere.
Can I just say one thing really quick about this? Because I'm going to get killed again for bringing this up. Is that the Brooke thing is that, and again, I don't know her diagnosis. I don't know anything about it. But I got destroyed in the comments because all I did was bring up the fact that we over pathologize ourselves. And then therapists, psychiatrists was also I have my speech therapist, obviously quit, over pathologize us as well to, justify giving us all these drugs and meds and stuff. And so I said, I was like, are you sure you have? Okay, come on. Like, you don't, because I think there's this thing now where it's like women don't self-deprecate as much. It's like that you're not supposed to do that anymore, but you are allowed to like diagnose yourself with a bunch of stuff. And I don't know if it's an excuse for your behavior. I don't know. And I'm seeing it with a lot of people. And because with borderline personality disorder, normally the doctor's not supposed to tell you you have it. It just makes it worse from what I know about it. And so I was like genuinely worried that someone just was, over-diagnosing her or like something. And I was kind of just trying to send the message to everyone, not just girls, like, go to a couple psychiatrists, go to a couple therapists. And
get a second opinion.
If you need to be medicated, great. And if you need it, I'm on Prozac, 10 milligrams, whatever, total game changer. But I lost a couple years to Lexapro. Like I was a complete zombie for years, just because of these if you come from trauma and you cry a lot or things hurt your feelings, like that's probably trauma. That might not mean you have a condition. You might need to cry it out, process it, whatever it is. Like don't always go to medicine. So I was talking about, I got murdered in the comments. Whitney is against mental health. Like she's bullying this, Brooke about her diagnosis and all this kind of stuff.
I wrote it using ChatGPT. So it's like, it was half not
It was
me.
automated.
Sorry, feel free to cut all that out. I just mean I do think there's a little bit of a trend of over pathologizing ourselves, whereas when I've
heard doctors talk about it, a lot of other doctors are prescribing based on just what the patient has done of research, where it's like, now it gets into the doctor's head because that's psychology. If you're talking a little bit, you're like, I guess it could be that thing.
Dude, if I was a psychologist, the first thing I would do was tell everyone they have borderline personality disorder and have to keep coming back every week.
Oh, yeah.
How are you going to make money if someone comes in and you're just like, you seem just like you're sad. Maybe just cry. They'd be like, all right, bye. And you'd be like, shit, I still live in an apartment and I'm a psychiatrist.
Yeah, it's very interesting, especially with the self-diagnosis of you going online and I have these symptoms. Well, they have this. Well, I kind of think I might have that part too, even though you didn't even think about that.
And maybe it's also better. Maybe it's like these people are like, I have autism, I have Asperger's, I have, this disorder, this disorder. Maybe it makes having trauma and pain just feel less awful.
Yeah.
Like,
maybe you just don't want to feel alone. You want to feel like you're part of
find
something.
your community. Yeah. Or it's like I don't have to, process all the things that happened to me and heal. I can just be this thing, and it gives you an answer.
And I'm qualified to talk about this. My sister's an OBGYN.
Okay.
So I can talk about anything brain-wise. Totally good to go.
Honestly, let this be a lesson. If you've taken nothing from this podcast episode, because my mic keeps cutting off, the sex therapist, I hope, would agree with me.
Sex coach.
The way that someone apologizes will tell you everything you need to know about how guilty they are.
Interesting.
So
That's why I never apologize.
Don't go on a bull or a skydiving suicide mission. Don't go kill yourself or anything like that. Just gently accuse someone of something and see how they react. It's like the thing of, if you want to find out if someone's a narcissist, just ask them if they're a narcissist.
Jared, are you a narcissist?
No.
Cool. We nailed it.
You have 9 cameras on you.
Actually, I only have one.
Oh, here we go.
You guys have 3.
But if someone, most narcissists can't handle the idea of them being narcissists. You handle that pretty well. If you ask me if I'm a narcissist.
Are you a narcissist?
I mean, probably. How could I not be? I just drove to where Van Nuys or wherever we are to be on a show with a bunch of gumball machines. Like, I don't, maybe. And so that's not someone that can entertain the idea that they might have a flaw. It wouldn't be a narcissist. But if someone gets super defensive, it means they might be.
Thank you guys so much for coming on. Whitney, you've been amazing. I love that conversation, actually. It was a lot.
That was great.
You
That
know,
was
sometimes
fantastic.
it's just like penis jokes and whatnot. But
Oh, that's if you want those, come
Yeah.
see my stand-up. Come see me on tour.
link will be in the description. And if you stayed till the end, comment what you think this dog's name is. Or what it should be. All right, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Congratulations on
Bye.
this.